I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding from the words I spit. So sharp, so freezing, so cold. Behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste and my mind starts peeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on kneeling. Got lust for change, I just love the feeling. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. And I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. Cause I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I don't lie at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I don't lie at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the news it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight.
What is going on, fam? Welcome back to another episode. My name is TradeFly, bringing you some of the most important market news as well as technical analysis that you can actually use. Bitcoin on the move. It is up about 4% over the last 24 hours. We did have the State of the Union address last night, and that was interesting. If you guys watched any bit of it or some highlights, I don't know that the government's ever been so divided. It is insane. Here nor there, whatever your political affiliations are, it was kind of wild to watch. I got to be honest with you. But that being said, let's give some shout outs to the homies in the chat. I know I'm here at a little bit of a different time. I usually go on a little bit later in the afternoon, but Alex O is on vacation. So I was like, you know what? Let me fill the gap for a little bit. We'll do a quick little rundown, look at the charts. Definitely some key levels. We're at a key level right now, actually, that we're going to look at here. But I want to give some shout outs to you guys in the chat. Thank you for being here. Much love to you. King Bean, how you doing? First in the chat. What up to you? Good morning. Good morning. Of course, we got my dude, Army Piper, in the house. How you doing, brother? Good to see you. Hopefully you're going live at 0730. I didn't want to step on you. I was trying to squeeze in here early in the morning before you went live. Let me know if I'm going to step on you. I'll keep it quick. Amy Lives Crypto, how you doing, lady? Good to see you. Thank you for being in the chat. I appreciate you. We got my man Crypto Squid. How you doing, brother? Good to see you. Of course, Alexandra G, the best mod in all of the spaces. How you doing, lady? Good to see you. We got Curbstar in here. How you doing? All right, I think that about wraps it up. I see some otters in the chat. You know it. If you guys don't know, I am over in Alex O's Discord. Go over to the description right now. Get access to his premium content in the Discord, as well as the content that I will be posting in there. So that being said, let's go ahead and get this started because I'm going to keep it quick today. All right, looking at CoinMarketCap. It is, at least the total market cap is at 2.3 trillion. That is up 5.36% over the last 24 hours. That is a nice move. Altcoin index is at 35. Let's look at the Bitcoin dominance, which is not down at the bottom. I usually have like a scrolling thing. They must have updated. All good. We'll look at it when you get over to the charts. Fear and greed index is at 11. Bitcoin is at 66,876, up 5.18%. So it's even moving in the positive since I started. Out of sense because you do have a high volume area node. You have the POC. You got the value area low pretty much all in one spot right now. It's about where you're at with price action. So it's going to be interesting to see if we see that wick up to take that liquidity off the table, and we need to check to see if there's orders on the books, because if there is, there could be an opportunity here for a potential play. So let's go ahead, get over to the chart. You can see Bitcoin is pumping. It's been pumping since yesterday pretty much, as we were going into the State of the Union. But here you go. So this is what I'm talking about right here. All right. You have this high volume area node. All right. That's sitting at about 67, probably lower 67s. All right. You got the POC of the range. Now, I didn't continue this out because it did look like it was kind of breaking down. But let's update that, because if we do take this into account as part of the range, let's see if that changes the game at all. Nope, it doesn't. It actually just further validates that the POC is right there with the high volume area node. So knowing that, let's go back. Let's look at the liquidity. All right, this is the game that we play a little bit here. So we see kind of a hot spot. It looks like it touched that liquidity right there. So let's look at the next one up at about 67.3 and then about 68. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll mark the lower one here, and that's going to be at 67.3. So let's go ahead and bring this down. We'll unlock it. She's ready for business here. 67.3. There you go. Right there. Good enough for government work. All right. So what we're looking at, what I would be paying attention to today, if I were you, is this area right here, right? Indicated by the high volume area node. You can kind of see this reaching way out there. It just means there's a lot of volume in that area. There's an expectation to see some price action. You got the POC of the range, always very important. And you have liquidity around there too. So what do I mean by that when I'm saying there's liquidity in this area? Is that if price action moves through, right? These people, when you look at the liquidation heat map, and it is an aggregate, okay? So it's kind of combining some data. They're kind of using a workaround to collect this data, if you understand. But what's going to happen here is that these people that are at 67.3 or so will get either stopped out of their positions, or they'll get liquidated, okay, depending on how they entered into their trade. So understanding that around the POC, if we push up, it makes perfect sense. Like, where would you have your stop loss, right? You would probably, if you're, just getting into a trade, and let's say most retail, maybe newer traders, for the most part, would probably put their stop loss above the POC. It's logical. It makes a lot of sense. So it comes up, takes that liquidity, and then if you see the move back down below the POC, below the high volume area node, what is a reasonable expectation once you have that liquidity off the table, right? Because once you take that liquidity, what's the incentive to continue chasing? Now, the other thing that you need to pay attention to, let's go ahead and move this trend line a little bit, is this right here, okay? Like, that was pretty quick to see. Like, hey, we were following that down, got it. We had a little breakout retest of it, works its way up, but now it's adding confluence to this area. So you could see a wick up. And if you see a wick, all right, a wick, not a large candle, all right? You see this body? If this large bodied candle here was up here, I would say, no, we're looking more for a breakout retest. We'll take that liquidity, come back, retest the zone, and then you could see the continuation of that price movement. So what does that look like? That would look like this, and then a continuation up. That's if you were to see a large body candle like this, okay? If you see this up here, no gozies, okay? That takes away what I'm talking about right now. That's a different way to look at it. That's how you do it if then, okay? I know a lot of people are like, well, you said it could go up, it could go down. Yeah, exactly. So you're watching the price action, let it talk to you, and then you make an determination. Then you determine your bias. You don't just say, hey, I have confluence here, and I'm just going to blindly enter a position. You got to be a little smarter than that, okay? So POC, high volume area node, there is a lot of people that would just be like, I'm blindly taking this. Not how I trade, okay? How I trade is I want that liquidity off the table so it's not a factor anymore. That way we know we don't have to worry about them driving the price back up there to the liquidity, and then you get stopped out, and then ultimately it ends up doing what we thought it was going to do originally. Okay, so now that's that. So let's concentrate on this. Let's say 67.3. Let's go over to Market Monkey Terminal. Now this is like my trigger. Okay, so understanding how I operate. If you're new here, I know in the mornings I don't usually go live, so I got a couple people here that are probably, first time seeing me. What I'm gonna look for is I would love to see something like this, okay? Right here where you see the red, okay? Those are bigger orders on the books. Now, unfortunately, those have been taken off, okay? So now we do have some orders kind of stacking up, but they're not big, okay? They're small, but that's still okay. Understanding that they're stacked on there, and if you see it, flashing on and off, that just means a threshold. Sometimes they're spoofs, but right now what I'm seeing is probably the threshold's just being met as it fluctuates, because I have it around, I think it's like 300. Let me double check that. I think it's around 300. So you might see it turn on, turn off. That just means it's like 280, and then it goes to 305, and then it goes to like 275, and you'll see it flash back and forth. But anyways, you do have orders stacked here. All right, so that's logical. It makes sense, and you would like to see those get filled. If those get filled, all right, and then once you see those get filled, you want to go to a lower time frame. 15 minutes, probably pushing a little bit. I'd probably look more at the 5. Okay, this is what you want to see. Now we're getting one signal right here that I do like to see, and that first signal is that we're looking at open interest. Okay, open interest is telling you our positions being opened or closed. It is. I need you to understand too that if you're looking at open interest and you see open interest going down, that is not an assumption that the price will go down. That means that positions are being closed. Does this make sense? Yes, it makes sense. Why does it make sense? Because you had price action push up, right? Price action has pushed up. What would logically start happening when you get to the POC? People would exit their positions and they would take profit. Okay, so that is exactly what this is showing you. That is your first indication that we could see some price action at that level. It's just an indication, and it's only one, so understand that. The next thing that you want to look at is CVD. Okay, CVD, you would like to see it go horizontal initially, right? But then after you see absorption in this area, you want to see CVD go down. All right, now that being said, you could already start to see price action start to work its way down, but as CVD starts piling in kind of along with, right, if you see price action going down, CVD going down, and then open interest, now this is the thing that you need to pay attention to. Open interest actually should either go horizontal or then start to go up. Now if you get open interest going up, that signifies positions are being opened. Okay, positions are being opened, CVD going down. That means that there is a short, all right, aggressive shorts. So positions being open, aggressive shorts, price action kind of following suit, orders are being filled. That is a beautiful indication. It's about as best as you can get in the way I trade, right? You have a significant area, right, that we have identified. You have the 3 things lining up between price action, open interest, and CVD. That's kind of like the trigger. Pull the trigger when you see those things align, and then that could set us up for a potential short. All right, so that's something that I will be looking for today. Those are the criteria that you need to be looking for if you want to take that. Now, that being said, we can always if-then this, right? If we see this, then we do this. Now, if price action pushes through, right, you continue to get this crazy candle, right, to the upside, and you see it continue to push through with a lot of aggression, what should that mean to you? Well, that means that everything that we just talked about will be invalidated. So this is how you can take a position, right, to the opposite direction when it shows it to you. Okay, so when this pushes, if it pushes through, right, you don't get the wick, you get a large body candle through the zone, what would the expectation be there? The expectation would then be that you might see a breakout retest. Come back down, retest the POC, and then move it on up. All right, so that is a way that you would then be looking for a long position. Now let's talk about that. All right, so this is how you can play the game multiple ways. You'll be looking for the retest. The retest would be the play here. Now we're coming back over to Market Monkey Terminal. Got a link for that as well. I might need to add that. I do have an affiliate link with those guys. Just got it. I might have to update the description here. But let's say you get that. What are we looking for? Right? That's the key here. Now you're going to be looking for that continuation of open interest, right? And that means to the upside, right? Because you want to see people piling in, all right, continuing to see CBD go up, right? And so you have aggressive longs with positions being open, which should likely continue to drive the price in the current direction. So breakout retest, CBD going up, open interest going up, that would say, hey, we might have an opportunity to play that breakout retest. If you guys know the OC retest, I like to call it. All right, so that's my dude. He's going to be on Piper Academy. Check him out, okay? Those guys should be on here soon. I don't know. I think 0730 is when they're going to go live. Did Piper say anything here in the chat? Let me check real quick. I will be watching and waiting for your cue. My man. All right, yeah. So 7:30. I'll jump off of here so you guys can go live. All right. So that is that. That's the current situation. All right. So if you guys aren't paying attention, POC, high volume area node. If you just got here, there could be an opportunity for a trade. Either way. All right. And I gave you the conditions to look for potentially taking that trade. So what I would like to see up right now, or what I would like to see right now, is that wick up. All right. Let's go over to USDT dominance. Take a look at that. That is dumping. All right. So we had a nice little horizontal here that we were paying attention to. Look, beautiful breakout retest, continuation down. Now you're getting to a high volume area node. Okay, so that's important. That is important. High volume area node on USDT dominance could indicate that you might see a bounce. Now this is what you would call a confluence between the charts, right? If you see a bounce out of this area, there's an inverse relation between USDT dominance as well as the price action with crypto. So if you see that bounce, then that could be good for looking for the short. If it falls through the high volume area node and we continue down to this horizontal down here at about 7.7, that would be a good thing, okay, in terms of looking for price action to go up. But right now, first pit stop is right here at this high volume area node. Be aware of that, understand that it's there, and that you could see a bounce, and that would actually support a potential short. So we are pushing up right now, 67 to 28 right now. Okay, so we're pushing up towards that liquidity. All right, they're gonna want it. They're gonna want the liquidity. It's just a matter of how far do we go, and that could be the decision here for today in the short term. Let's look at total market cap, 2.3 trillion. That's also pushing up through the roof. Looking pretty good. Not sure if there's any bullish catalyst today. Haven't had an opportunity to actually scan the news. I'll take a look at that. If you guys are in the chat and you know, then let me know. That would be dope. Let's see here. Pushing up. You do got a high volume area node as well, right? Confluence, high volume area node. I mean, that's kind of wild. So that's interesting. Honestly, you got high volume area nodes on all three charts. All three charts right now. It's not, of course, it's not popping up because I'm clicking back and forth, but there it is. There she is. All right, so high volume area node for Bitcoin, high volume area node for USDT dominance, and a high volume area node for total market cap. So very, very interesting. You do have confluence between the three. That's something that I like to look for, you know, when I'm thinking about getting into a trade, is seeing confluence between the charts. Let's go to the daily just real quick on USDT dominance. Sometimes you don't want to get too, yeah, you are like right there at the node here. Let's extend this out. Obviously, been a little busy. Let's see. Let's take the wicks. Just see where that puts us real quick. All right. I'm gonna get rid of this. Let's see. Zoomed out. Not a huge fan, right? This is not exactly what you want to see. So you have consolidation, breakout, come down, range, consolidation, breakout, consolidation, right? So that's don't get too excited yet. All right, that's what I'll say here. Don't get too excited yet. Let's go ahead and bring this down. We know we got a high volume area node right there, and then of course we still have this. Oh, let's go. There we go. Still got a pretty prominent horizontal right there as well. That's at about 2.96. Obviously 3 trillion is going to provide a little bit of resistance, but what I'd be looking here and looking for is on the daily, right now, don't get too excited is what I'll say, right? We're still in the range. Just because we had a nice move doesn't necessarily mean a whole lot. Now, there could be an argument to see accumulation, manipulation, and distribution or expansion, the PO3 concept, but that's kind of yet to be seen. But you're off to a good start, we'll say. Why do I say that? Let's go ahead and get rid of that real quick. All right, so you have the accumulation here, and then it comes down. It takes what liquidity is down below, right? And then it pushes back into the range and hopefully pushes to the top side of that range. That would be kind of the expectation with that concept, and really for continuation up, out. I would then look for kind of a breakout retest of the top there. So the top of the range right there. Boom. Maybe even push that down just a little bit there. There you go. But I would look for that. And so if we break this horizontal here, then I would be a lot more excited about seeing, a move back up. And you can see there's not a lot of volume in here. Right here. Not a lot. Okay, so you might have a pit stop in here. That would probably be a nice little point to see that rejection. Just kind of get ahead of price action there. All right, come back down, retest, and then see that move up. That is in play, but it has, there's certain wickets that are, we'll say criteria that has to be hit first. All right, getting over that horizontal, that's going to be key to that situation here. Let's look over the chat real quick. Let's say what's up to the homies. All right, Piper with the old salute. Quick. Got to keep it quick. Got it. FJ Trading, what up to you, bro? Good to see you in the chat. Hope it's all. We got French Toaster in the house. What up, bro? Good to see you. The Dusty Hunt. How you doing, man? Good to see you. Amy Lives Crypto. Just preaching to us right now. You know it. I'm trying. Who else we got in here? We got Dr. Goat. AVAX dominance chart has high time frame, anchor, trigger, uneven, butt cheeks back. Yeah, man. I know you guys like the market cipher. Let me see here. We'll look at AVAX. Let's look at AVAX. I got skin in the game on AVAX. There's no doubt about that. That's why I talk about it. Oh my gosh. 14%. Let's go. Okay. All right. These are the days you like to see. 14%. Okay. Well, you can see there's a buy zone. There's a buy zone right here for AVAX. Let's zoom out a little bit here. Let's digest this a little bit more. Why was that a buy zone? Well, that is the lows of 23, and you have volume associated with it, okay? Got a high volume area node. Is a gap here, but same principle. I'd say that you want to see it push over the current horizontal. That's a beautiful move, but this is same concept. All right, so we just talked about that. This right here, so obviously came down, you got that, but what happens, right? Liquidity starts building up the more that the price action stays up here, so you have liquidity right there. What happens? All right, accumulation, manipulation, and then boom, it goes. Now that's already pushed up to the top, so if you're not in, you're not in. At this point, I would be very careful of taking a long for AVAX right now until it pushes through, right? The conservative thing to do is, hey, let's get over the moving average. Let's get over the horizontal here. And this is actually a very prominent horizontal. Prominent horizontal at 9.63 for AVAX right now. I would not personally take a long here. If you were to catch this is, let's go back just to talk about this a little bit. Once you saw this push back into the range, that could have been an opportunity, right? Because you're respecting the fact that it could have been rejected. Okay, if it doesn't get rejected and it pushes back into the range, that is when you take the long on AVAX. If you're not in my mind, you're not in at this point. Wait till we break above about 9.75, 9.77 in that range. And of course, what are we looking for there is more of a breakout retest. Okay, so just a big bodied candle, just like you're seeing right now. You would love to see that through this zone. If you get another candle and it looks like that, going through this zone, I mean, I would say the odds are more in your favor. All right, then, you know, if you want to look, I think Market Monkey Terminal has AVAX as well. So look on that and see if you're seeing open interest going up and CVD going up. If those things are going up in confluence with it coming out, or a big body candle with a breakout retest of that area at about 9.77 or so, or 9.7, then, you know, that could be an opportunity to take a long position. Obviously, protect yourself with a stop loss. You do not want to get upside down, because it's moving quickly. Obviously 14% change in 24 hours. If it's moving quick, you got to be very, very careful. All right, let me see here in the chat. We got my man Infinite Team TA. How you doing, bro? Good to see you in the chat, man. We got Buck in here. What up to you? Good to see you, bro. Of course, we got T.I. Joe. He said he's lurking. My man, hope all is well with you. Have you smashed the like? Have you smashed the like? That I would appreciate it if you do. That helps me grow. All right, so there's a quick look at AVAX. Again, 9.7 is a big key area for you on the charts. Let's go over to, let's look at the NASDAQ real quick. We haven't looked at that yet this morning. That is pumping. That is up 1% on the open. All right, that is looking pretty good. So you are coming up to, I believe, let me double check, because I updated my colors on the moving average. That's the 200. So you're coming up to the 200 on the 4 hour, just so you know, the 4 hour. See what you got going on here. Let's do a fib retracement off of this current move. So we'll take there to there, and you're coming up to the 0.786. All right, so you're coming up to the platinum pocket. You got the 200 SMA on the 4 hour. So, and you got a little bit of volume there. So again, I would say be careful. All right, that actually, I mean, in a weird kind of way, still a little bit of confluence between the charts, right? Because you're coming to those high volume area nodes for Bitcoin, USDT dominance, as well as total market cap, as well as NASDAQ, right? There is a little bit of you know, I'm not going to say there's a parallel, but sometimes you do see a little bit of a parallel between NASDAQ and Bitcoin, especially when the market is moving down. I see that correlation being a lot tighter when the trend is down, and it does look like it is trying to break that trend, though, currently for the NASDAQ. You did have a little bit of a downtrend right here. Nothing too crazy on the 4 hour. This goes back to about, it looks like January 28th. So back to January 28th, you did have a little bit of a downtrend going on here. Very clear, lower highs, lower lows. I mean, broke out with some authority, did it not? But you could be running into a little bit of a wall here. So kind of samesies, right? Like, it's at that point where, like, I don't know that I would like sit here and ape along right now, knowing that you're coming up to a little bit of resistance, given the platinum pocket, the 200 SMA on the 4 hour. Let's look at the daily. Just want to see where your SMAs are at. Okay, so they're all below on the daily, so that's a good sign. Those are definitely stronger areas, and you do have a larger high volume area node at about 23.5. Okay, so that's, but still, I mean, you can see this volume right here, kind of where we're at. Yeah, right there. I mean, it's just above us. So I'd say, you know, be careful there. Be careful there. And samesies. You break out, you push through, especially if you break through this. If you break through 23.5, I mean, that kind of opens the door up for continuation in terms of a move. Let's look at Ethereum real quick. We still got about, I'd say, I don't know, 10 minutes or so before we jump over. Piper, I have no idea how to actually push the audience for you. I don't even know if I actually can yet, because I'm not fully monetized. I'm only like, I get the halfway where you get emojis and stuff. Here nor there. Let's get that out of here. We're looking at ETH. Let's go ahead and zoom out just a little bit. Oh, you did come down to the platinum pocket, high volume area node. Nice. Yeah, so there's an opportunity there, and same thing, like, it looks like it wants to break. I wouldn't say that it has, right? You can see lower highs right now. So again, just be careful. Don't get too excited just because we got one good candle. But if we push over this high volume area node and we do push above the horizontal, I mean, you could do the breakout of the lower highs. Let's go ahead. We'll kind of double it up here. I know some people like to trade breakouts. I'm not huge on the breakout itself. I prefer to see a retest. But yeah, I mean, that is your high volume area node right here. So you could see a little something like this. One of the big things I like to try to do, because I have a 9 to 5, is get ahead of the price action. So you could see a quick push up, rejection, and then this second one is where, okay, are we gonna break through and hope? Oh boy, we're gonna have to, here we go. It's about to get weird. Look at that, what are you doing? There it is. It's supposed, when you click it again, it's supposed to just stop. Apparently I did not click close enough. But yeah, I don't know that I would take anything in here. I would be looking for the horizontal to be broken personally. And that's going to be kind of a common trend you're going to hear from me. And just coming back left on the chart, this is very clear. Right here where the 0.786 is. I mean, look at that. That is very clear horizontal price action if I've ever seen it. And you can see where there was very much support. So there was definitely willing buyers in that level, or at that level. You would love to see it reestablish that range. If you see it reestablish that range, that is a very good sign in the interim for Ethereum, and then I would be looking for a move up. I just don't know how far I would take it, to be honest. You do got some volume there. Just kind of looking at the bottom here where you see this wick, I mean, that would be more than enough, but I mean, you got to come back left on the chart a little bit and look at like, hey, where's kind of the base of the bottoms here? Where do you see a lot of it? And that would probably be about 2361, and then you have the top here. Obviously you have that, but there you go. I mean, I think about 2300, and then you got a high volume node here at about 22. So tight margins, got to be careful, but it does open the door up. It does open the door up for a little bit of a move to the upside, maybe a little closer to 25. Got the POC here of the previous range. Always like to keep an eye on those. I mean, your moving averages are really far away from you though. Let's see what they're at on the 4 hour. So you got the 200 working its way down. Very aggressive. Be careful there. Yeah, that one's tough. Again, I think there could be an opportunity if you break out of this horizontal, but I wouldn't get too excited until you see that. Unfortunately, if you didn't get in here, it's one of those things where you might have a quick play. All right, this would be intraday or, you know, more of a scalp. I don't know if I'd call it a scalp. That would probably be more intraday. Actually, that's pretty tight. Let's see here. No, that would be intraday. That's a 6% move. So yeah, you could probably find something in here, but that's high risk. Just so you know, that's a low capital, low capital play. If I were to even think about it, it's probably not. I would say the safer play for me is kind of ignore this, and then you look for the wick above. All right, so right here, you have liquidity. All right, so that's step one. You got the 200 on the 4 hour working its way down. It'll probably start to level. You push up here, you get that wick. And then if you reestablish back below, obviously the candle won't be that big. All right. It won't be that big, but just to actually give you something to look for, you get the wick, you get candle close below, and then you see that CBD as well as open interest starting to drive its way down. That might be an opportunity to short this. So be on the lookout for that. Again, if you get a big push through, then that's invalidated. So that's something that you have to pay attention to. We'll put a fixed range volume profile on this real quick just to see where everything is at, because you want to have an area. If you're, see the POC aligns with the high volume area node. So that would probably be what I would look for in terms of a quick play there. Let's put a box on it, protect yourself a little bit right there where the moving average is. And there you go. That gives you a nice 3-to-1. And so that would be a 7.5% move to the downside of the POC high volume area node, 2% to the top side there. So 3.57 with fees and stuff, probably put you a little closer to 3.2. But still a nice 3-to-1 that you can look for here. And again, you want to see that wake up. So you're going to see that selling pressure coming in, open interest CBD working its way down as confirmation. That's kind of your trigger squeeze. And then coming down to the POC and looking for that to be support. Now, as you break the value area high, just to give you some context on how I would be approaching this, is if I break this value area high, then I'm getting my my stop loss to entry. I'm probably a little bit above to kind of lock it in, right? because I would say your odds are a little bit better at that point that you're going to see that continuation down to at least the POC. But for whatever reason, if it does work its way back up, you're playing on house money. Okay, so that's the way I kind of I prefer to play the game. You know, it may come back up, stop you out, and then ultimately go down. I've seen it happen. It's happened multiple times, but here nor there, I just prefer to play on house money. It just reduces the risk. So that's how I'd be looking at that. Let's see here. We got, we'll give it about 5 minutes, and then I'll get off of here. Let's see what else we got. Scrolling down. Let's look at Solana here. You know what we got to do. Ooh. Had a nice little buy zone there, but that did not play out. So that now is likely to be resistance. All right, so keep an eye on that. You've established a range. I mean, the price action looks very similar throughout. You have these large pushes down. You're establishing a range. Nice bounce in that range going towards the top where you're going to see resistance again. I mean, it looks the same throughout most of the charts, to be honest with you, especially the alts. 50 SMA driving down. I mean, I would look at it this almost the same way that I just looked at Ethereum. I'm not going to go through rehashing the whole scenario because it is almost exactly the same. All right, so again, looking at your horizontal level, then you're going to look for potential rejection out of that zone. If you get a big bodied candle through, then you can look for a continuation, a little bit more of a push up for Solana. Let's look at, let's see, what is something we don't look at too often? Let's look at Tesla. We haven't looked at that in a while. Look at Tesla, see how that's moving. As you can see, it's been a while because this is about the last time I really did some TA on it, and that is in like September. Okay, so you have a nice, look at that, man. So it's funny, right? We had a really nice horizontal level there. You can see both support, resistance, support, breakout, retest. Do you see that continuation down? Because you got a big gap in volume here for Tesla. Where would I be interested in Tesla? Obviously not here because you're flirting with an area of resistance. So I think down around where this horizontal is and the gap. Oof. Ah, man, that one's really just taking the top. Let's actually extend that out. I just want to see. I actually think we should slide that down a little bit where you encompass more. Let's see if I can get it over here. Encompass more of the price action, right? And then once we go here, all right, you see the volume start to pick back up. That's good. Now let's put a fib on it. Let's get rid of this one. Let's get rid of, this is an eyesore. I got to be honest with you. Get rid of all that. Cool. Let's look at a fib retracement. Oh, that's a, that is not a fib retracement. That one is. There we go. All right, so we'll do the big one from the low to the high, 0.382. Typically bullish continuation. If you want to see it coming back for the retest or subsequent retest, not always comforting, but that puts you at the 0.5. If you're looking at the low here from April 25, let's look at this low here. And that is from June. And that would put you at the golden pocket. So kind of no matter how you line this one up, you got significant fib levels right there at that horizontal level in the green, right? So regardless, depends on how you want to do your fibs. There's 3 different ways, 4 different ways, obviously, to do fibs, up to you. But if you're kind of taking the macro, I mean, I think that's a decent level. So right there, that's at about 360. Anywhere, really 350 to 360. I think a nice opportunity there to potentially see a bounce. Up to you on kind of how you want to play that game. Now, the more that you see this area here at 380, 387, there you go, it's about 387, 386, 386, 387. The more you see that hold up as support, the more likely it will be an area that's going to be resistance if price action does push up. So that's something for you to keep an eye on here. You bounce out of here, you go back up, boom, and then likely to see resistance. So let's measure that out just from there to there. And that's about a 7, we'll call it a 7% move. That's not too bad for you TradeFly folks. About 7%. Not too bad. All right, 725. I think I'm gonna wrap this one up. I just wanted to get on here and, you know, look at the charts real quick. Just put a little content out there. I wasn't available yesterday. I did go skiing with my little lady. I took her. We were not skiing, snowboarding. We were shredding. We were shredding the hills. But if you guys enjoy this kind of content, you like these little updates, let me know. Like, subscribe. I would appreciate it. Again, come on over to Alex's Discord. Catch me over there as well. That link is in the description. But much love to you guys. Thank you. Thank you for the support. Thank you for showing up for me this morning. And get on over to see Army Piper next. All right, on Piper Academy. I will actually, yeah, there it is. See, Alexandra G, my lady, she dropped it in there. So follow that link, okay? Because I don't think I have the ability to push the audience there yet. That should be soon. I think I have another maybe a few hundred hours to go until I'm fully monetized, and then I can start pushing people to other channels. So that being said, go check them out. Thank you guys very much. Much love to you guys. Hope you have a great day. And with that, I'm out.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.